Hello, I'm Kelly Moran, and this is the husband takeover of Delaney Jane cards. Welcome back to Renee's channel. Today we're going to make a card with this kit here. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's a kit with a car, an airplane, and a bicycle. And then it looks like we have all cylinders kit with a card, and then we have the brawny guy. So anyway, what we're going to do now is we're going to take the ink 3 blackout ink, and we're going to stamp the brawny guy image on the white cardstock. And we're going to do this a couple times because we want to make sure that the image is crisp and clear. It's very important that the image is crisp and clear because when you do your coloring, well, you need good lines. Looks like we have some golden cardstock here, and we're going to, clearly looks like we're going to stamp a classic car on there, which seems to look like a Mustang for any Ford lovers out there. So again, we're going to stamp this multiple times and make sure that the lines are crisp and clear. What we're going to do is we're going to sprinkle this cocaine-like substance on there, pixie dust, and then we're going to take this heat gun and we're going to melt it to the cardstock, which creates a heat embossed image. So we're going to take this ink here and we're going to restamp this card on white cardstock. And then we're going to do that a couple times. And looks like we got a good image going on there. Now we're going to take Brawny Guy and we're going to stamp his image on this flannel plaid looking patterned paper. And I'm pretty sure that what's going to happen here is this is going to become Brawny Guy's shirt, because you can't have a brawny guy without a flannel shirt. But I definitely think that this is going to become a extremely masculine, manly card. So now we're going to take these very tiny scissors and we're going to cut the wheels off the car, and we're going to make sure that we destroy the golden Mustang. But I know there's a greater plan. There is always a method to Renee's madness. So let's see here. We're going to cut around the windshield, we're going to turn left, and then we're going to turn right. Cut over the hood, and then we're going to snip the front off. And now we have a beautifully cut golden Mustang card. Now we're going to take the X-Acto knife and we're going to cut the windshield out, because you can't see through it if you don't have a windshield. And I'm not sure what we're doing here. I think we're cutting the seats out, so I'm guessing that this is going to be another paper piece type scenario coming up in the future of this video. Okay, what are we doing now? We're going to take our hand and just push that stuff aside. Okay, C4. It looks like it's going to be, well, C4 is an explosive, so we're going to call this explosive gray. So she's coloring the rims in with this gray, and then she's going to shadow in some of these seats here, and the vehicle's clearly going to have gray seats, which is a pretty neutral color. And what else are we going to do here? Oh, look at that, C6. So that's a darker gray. We're going to call that charcoal gray. And we're going to use that to shade a little bit. C8, even a darker gray. So we're going to call that thunderstorm gray. How's that? So we're gonna shade a little bit with all these 3 grays. It creates a shadow and it creates like a third dimensional illusion. So the seats and the images that you color, they have a lot of realism to them. I'm not sure what that color was. That was sort of like a mud brown. And we're gonna take that and we're gonna shadow in on the golden cardstock. And I think what we're doing here is we're doing that to create sort of a dimension to the vehicle, so it's not just a plain gold. It gives a little more of a 3D shadowing effect because the inside of that car is kind of indented, and if the sun's shining on it, it's going to kind of have a different effect because it's a different angle. I'm not sure what that is. Zero seems to me like it's probably a colorless blender, but I could be wrong about that because, again, I don't know anything about this. Well, I know some things, but I don't know much. So if anybody learns anything from this video, I'm sorry, because I don't want to be held responsible. So just don't take my advice. I'm just translating the best I can. So here we got like a skin tone. I'm not really sure what it is. I think it's a form of a yellow. It's more like a creamy yellow. Well, I'm looking at the tip, so the ink going on the paper is a very off-white. Now we have a BV04, which looks like kind of like a, I don't know, a dark violet purple of some sort. And we're putting that on the brawny guy's skin, which I'm not sure why, but Renee has her method to her madness. I'm sure it's going to turn out to not look purple at all. So there we got kind of a darker brown. It looks like we're blending over to purple, so that's creating more of a shadow. I think once it's all blended, it's going to look like skin anyway. The purple kind of threw me off for a minute there. So E13, that's a lighter brown. So what we're doing there is we're just going to shadow in the skin, and it's going to, again, it's going to give it a lot of dimension. And looks like he's got an Adam's apple there. That was pretty neat. I wouldn't have thought it to do that. E11. It looks the same as the other marker, but I know it's clearly not. The only thing I really know about these markers is, you know, they're $8 a piece, and she has a crazy amount of them. But you know what? It's all worth it because it makes her happy, and she knows how to use them. Me, I'd be a babbling idiot trying to use these markers. I have problems coloring with Crayolas, so this is a skill that I probably will never learn. So anyway, we keep going lighter and lighter. It looks like, and we're shading in the skin here, and it gives us a very cool, realistic effect. And who would have thought that you use purple to blend in and shadow a skin tone? Because it just doesn't seem natural. So I'm not sure what color that is. But all I know is this dude here, brawny guy, he's got a very nice tan. I'm sort of jealous. And he's not the type of dude that sits in a sun tanning bed. He's the type of dude that's outside, chopping wood, digging ditches, probably fixing his car. So now we got, again, I think it's some sort of, no, there's brown in there. I thought she was using blue again or purple. But look at that. Look at that. It's just ridiculously realistic looking. So what we're doing there is it looks like we got the old purple out again. And we're going to do a little more blending because we have to make sure it is perfect. Let's see here. I'm running out of words. I don't like running out of words. Awkward silence. Alright, so now we got kind of that yellowy orange. And we're going to give them a little more tannage. E71, I'm not sure. That's some sort of gray. I guess we're going to put a little bit of gray in the hair. Give them that salt and pepper type look. And then we got, I think that was brown. I'm not sure though. No, it looks like a gray. He's got the rather combed yet messy look of the hair. Like, hey, I took a shower this morning and then I worked. And I still look good. So what we're doing here is it looks like we're shading in the brawny guy's shirt. It looks like this is probably going to be a paper pieced shirt, which is a really cool technique that she uses. She's just really good at it. I don't know what else to say. It's impressive to me that she takes this pattern paper and she makes it just look real. I mean, it clearly is going to look like this dude's wearing a flannel shirt. Not sure what W0 is. I think, again, that's probably the colorless blender, but I might be wrong. So here it looks like we're taking a black marker and we're rubbing the edge of the paper, so when we do get this paper piece down, that it's not going to have that blazing white staring you right in the face. And then we're going to piece together the shirt, and poof, the shirt's gone again. So now we're going to color the t-shirt. Now, who would have thought? I actually thought and expected Brawny Guy's t-shirt to be white. A lot of dudes just wear a white shirt under a flannel shirt. But you know what? I am not a guy that knows what style is all about. And, you girls, you know it all about it. So I'm going to trust the judgment here that this is the shirt that should be worn with that flannel shirt. And it looks like it's a reddish orange, maybe. Now we're going to, men put like everybody else, they put their pants on one leg at a time. Well, this dude puts his shirt on one piece at a time. And he does it looking good. Look at that. The shirt just absolutely looks like a flannel shirt. It's just, I'm in awe of the crazy talent. All right, so what do we got here? We are going to glue this instant paint job onto this Mustang. All right, look at that. Golden Mustang. That's an expensive car. So we are going to cut this car out of the white cardstock now, because I'm not really sure why we did that, but I know in the end it's going to look okay. So we're going to cut all this white cardstock off, because it seems to me like this is going to be like a eye catcher on the card, for lack of a better term. And we're going to cut down here. We're going to take a right and we're going to snip the radio antenna off. So clearly this car is going to have to play 8 tracks, because, well, the antenna is now gone. All right, so we're going to cut Brawny Guy out there. And now we're going to take this black marker again and we're going to color that edge. So now it looks like what we're doing here is we're going to take some sentiment stamps and we're going to place them in a particular fashion to get the desired effect. Oh, that one wasn't right, so we're just going to tweak them a little bit. All right, so now we're going to take this, I don't know what kind of ink this is, but we're going to take it and we're going to color the stamp with it, and then we're going to put this down on the paper. And we're going to do this repeatedly in different spots. So it looks like what's happening here is we're taking this stamp set here and we're creating our own pattern paper. So it looks like that's what we're doing. Yep, we're filling in the gap here and creating our own pattern paper. And it looks like it's going to be a birthday theme paper. You are a classic, I think it says. Now, because we put all that work into it, we're just going to tear it off. And, we'll just tear it off. So, okay, so we're going to tear the other side off too, because, we don't want a whole piece of paper on there. So the tear effect is kind of a cool thing to me anyway, because, well, that looks like that's going to be a sentiment panel. But anyway, the tear thing. So now she's going to blend some ink on there. And what it does, which I really like about this, is that it makes it look like if you were in a abandoned house. I don't know if any of you ever explored an abandoned building, but you find some documents that have been sitting in the weather for a long time. It's like you find it in the attic of an abandoned building or something, and it's been weathered and to the elements. It's got that burnt edge. That's kind of what it reminds me of. So we're going to take this white glue here and we're going to spread it all over in squiggly random fashion, and then we're going to stick that to our background paper. Cut off the overhang because we don't want that to overhang because that would look like crap. So now we got this, we're going to kind of place our stuff together. We're going to glue down Brawny Guy on the card here. Glue down Brawny Guy, and then we're going to put the car in there. He clearly does not fit in that car, but I think what the effect is supposed to be is that the car is like up front and he's kind of like overshadowing. It reminds me of pictures that used to get done at Kmart where you'd like have one face looking forward and other looking sideways. That was always kind of weird to me. So, all right, we cut out the windshield there, and now we're taking a black marker and we're making sure that white edge is gone again so it doesn't look like right in your face and distract you from the real deal. So it looks like she's got some acetate here, and we cut out a little piece, and we're going to make a windshield, which is going to add a little more realism to the car, which is kind of a cool effect. All right, sparkly, shiny, golden Mustang with a glass windshield. All right, so now we're going to take some foam tape and we're going to put that on the car so the car kind of stands up above everything. It'll make the car look like it's a lot closer than Giant Brawny Dude. And it also gives it kind of that effect where the card's not flat and boring. It gives it kind of a texture-y feel to it. So here's the sentiment strip for the front. She's going to also take this ink and she's going to rub it around the edge to make it more cohesive with the theme. And again, that kind of looks like a rusty sign almost, like it's been out in the weather a while. And now we're going to be a little confused on where we want it. And that looks really good. I agree with that decision. That looks good under the card like that. All right. Got to use the tweezer thing so you don't get glue on your hands. All right, so now we're going to cut off the edge of the car so it doesn't overhang. And then we're going to take the white liquid glue stuff, and then we're going to squeeze it harder. And then we're going to take that card and we're going to stick it back to the brown cardstock panel. So now we're going to take these stamps. We're going to stamp the inside sentiment, which again says, "Happy birthday, you are a classic," which is a very manly card. We're going to take an image of the car, and we're going to put it on the inside also to strengthen the theme of the card. And then Brawny Dude's going to be in there too, because he doesn't want to be away from his car. And it looks like we got a little more liquid glue. We're going to put it on a card panel. So we have I think it's a top folding card. And there you go. That's a Brawny Guy card. Very manly. So here's a few still shots of the card. And I appreciate you stopping by and supporting Delaney Jane Cards. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And remember what Renee always says, give cards generously. Bye.